are looking on separation between their hardships or their the things that they got going on that would be issues, and what a celebrity's issues would be.
That maybe that not y'all know, but the one besides Keish that I always talk about, and every time I see him, I tell him thank you, because it wasn't like we was enemies, or we didn't hang out together. Was 50 Cent, Mr. Curtis Jackson.
Wow.
Y'all wanna know what really gets on my nerves, that grinds my gears, grinds them so bad, is that when y'all think I give it. Listen to me. I do not give a
This drama is becoming unmanageable, everyone. Let's just say that 50 Cent is acting as the ultimate provocateur, while Remy Ma and Clarissa Shields are teasing one another, and Papoose is being pulled into the midst of the commotion. His comments are as jumbled as always. But what's actually? Let's go down here and break it down completely, because this story is really crazy. It all began when 50 posted a crazy message on Instagram warning Clarissa Shields, the accomplished boxer caught in the midst of all this chaos, to keep everything digital and not to fight Remy. He wrote whatever. When 50 warned that Remy might receive the blick, he wasn't joking. As we all know, he doesn't mince words. He recapped Remy's infamous 2007 incident in which she was imprisoned for firing the trigger. But this is where it gets crazy. Remy Ma didn't take this lying down. She retaliated, and the incident just got out of control. So let's go on to the genuine tea that has everyone talking. Remy Ma posted some supposed text messages between Papoose and his purported new girlfriend, world boxing champion Clarissa Shields, on Instagram, and they were messy, everyone.
Y'all, what is going on with Remy Ma, Papoose, and Clarissa Shields? Like, I woke up this morning and I saw that Remy Ma and Clarissa Shields are going back and forth on Instagram. And then I guess Remy Ma caught Papoose and Clarissa on the phone falling asleep together and stuff like that.
You are the one who is married. So if you can't at least sleep with me over the phone or be with me in person, it shouldn't be a huge issue to let me know you made it home safely. However, this is where it gets juicier. Clarissa apparently seemed frustrated in the text. In addition to posting the statement, Remy captioned the image with her own thoughts. Papoose dozed down as Clarissa Shields was lying in my house. He won't leave this B, who is supposedly a world champion boxer, and she hung off as soon as she heard me. Now that I'm sharing everything, you're not alone, baby girl. Yes, Remy came. She'd accused Clarissa of spreading false information to harm her reputation, while Papoose appeared to be a hero on her Instagram stories. But she wasn't finished yet. Remy wrote this woman, NOS Clarissa Shields, and that Sora publicity team had been spreading false information about me every day to make me look bad and him look like God's gift for too long. I pleaded with Papoose to stop the story, but he insisted that the best course of action was to keep quiet. I'm tired, and here's the knockout punch. Oh, and he said he would never F you because you're ugly, but don't worry. I saw everything, and the world will see it because you're so tough. Clarissa swiftly clapped back, stating that a woman with 2 boyfriends is upset with a man who has a girlfriend. Naturally, why are you tagging me if I'm not the only one? Retorting once more, Remy wrote that she's not out here juggling boyfriends. Hey, Miss Shields, I'm a one-boyfriend woman, just like I was a one-husband woman. And I'm a good woman at that, which is why MS won't just go. Then she further disparaged Clarissa by saying, oh, and he's never going to buy you anything because he thinks he's the prize. He's a taker, not a giver, and I'm the one with the bag, lol. Remy continued, I'm not even mad. Actually, I'm very happy, and that's why your boyfriend is mad. She added, playing with me because I'm not the enemy you want. Oh, and you mentioned feeling foolish, but you also look foolish now. While Remy and Clarissa were busy exchanging jabs, Papo chose to interrupt and correct the situation. From his perspective, he stated that Remy is simply upset that he has finally moved on and that he has repeatedly requested a divorce. Although Pap didn't mince words when discussing his frustrations with the back and forth, his charge that Remy is deceiving truly grabbed notice. The story he suggested is that the reason she's upset is that he's leaving, and this is where things get even more sinister. Remy continued, claiming she had audio evidence to support her claims that Papoose had threatened to call the police on her and even accused him of physical abuse. Just when we thought it couldn't get much worse, Papoose intervened and completely changed the story, saying that Remy was the one who was unfaithful and that he had been attempting to divorce her for months. Pap took to social media to attack her.
To spread that Remy was dealing with a battle rapper named Easy the Block Captain. And at one of the events, because she has this battle rap league, Chrome 23, and she hosts these rap battles. And at one of the rap battles, allegedly she was hugged up with battle rapper Easy Block the Captain.
He didn't stop there, though. He openly accused Remy of spending Christmas 2023 cuddling with battle rapper Easy, the Block Captain. Pap didn't hold back, calling her out as a narcissist and declaring that he was done being silent. His caption read, "While I was at home with my daughter last Christmas, this is where Remy was now that I finally moved on. She's angry and making up lies." Pap wasn't finished, though, claiming that Remy begged him to lie about knocking out Easy. Apparently, Pap knocked out Easy, and Remy wanted to hide it. Added she kept pleading with me to lie about the knockout in the messages I still received, but it doesn't matter because he didn't return the hit. Since Don is quite affectionate for Papoose, this entire circumstance must seem like the greatest betrayal. Remember that this man held Remy down during some of her worst years. Pap was a true support system for her during her time in prison, taking care of her son, visiting her frequently, and teaching everyone what it meant to be ride or die.
Now we know Remy and Papoose as black love couples. We've been knowing that for years. Pap held Remy down while she served 6 years in prison. She ain't had nothing to worry about because he held everything down from her son to the home and everything. When she came home, everything was cool. After that, things got a little rocky. Last year, rumors started.
People looked up to them as a power couple and the embodiment of black love at one point, especially after Remy left. They seemed to pick up where they left off, and people admired Papoose for being faithful for 6 long years and for helping Remy get her life back on track.
Think it ever there was a light bulb moment when it went off over my head, like, oh my God, he's the one. But I did notice that he was different from, other guys. And
however, this Pap's discovery that the woman he maintained for years supposedly cuddled up with the Block Captain over Christmas had to be devastating. And to make matters worse, now that Pap has allegedly moved on with a younger woman, Remy is out here feeling resentful. He talks of making things worse for Papoose, as if all he created with Remy came crashing down. From being the ideal couple for steadfastness and loyalty to sharing this much tumultuous drama online, it's safe to say that nobody anticipated this to be the conclusion of their romance.
So, I got one of them here tonight, but hold on. Happy birthday.
Don't trust your brother. Don't even trust your mom.
At this point, Clarissa Shields enters the conversation, and rather than simply responding with words, she challenges Remy to a real fight. In a series of scathing posts, Clarissa told Remy to show up for a real fight. She wasn't just talking trash, though. She used the entire feud to promote her upcoming fight in Flint, Michigan on February 2, 2025. As if that weren't enough, she also promoted her Christmas Day movie. Clarissa added, "Come get a whooping crash out versus Clarissa Shields versus Il Real Remy Ma February 2nd. Inside the fire now, let's face it, this is the kind of promotion that only Clarissa Shields could pull off." Remy, on the other hand, didn't back down either, continuing to go back and forth with the boxing champion while Papoose sat back and responded to the chaos with a cool but shady vibe. Fans couldn't help but notice how calm Pap seemed in the middle of all this chaos, as if he already knew how it would play out. Some are even speculating that Papoose is allowing all of this to happen in order to finally end the chapter with Remy. Papoose is making it apparent that he's done playing nice. Let's get to the point. Some believe that Pap is relishing the attention, knowing that the internet is solidly on his side following his charges. Remy Ma hasn't exactly had a spotless past. If you were unaware, Back in 2007, Remy's life took a significant turn when a fallout with her former friend Makeda Barnes-Joseph escalated outside of a courtroom. Remy has a history of pulling triggers, which is why 50 Cent is side-eyeing this entire feud and calling it a setup. Nightclub in Manhattan Makeda was shot in the torso after the drama allegedly began over $3,000 that Remy thought had been stolen from her purse. Remy insisted it was an accident, but the prosecution didn't believe her. In 2008, she was found guilty of illegally possessing a weapon and attempting to coerce someone, and the judge sentenced her to 8 years in prison. Remy has consistently maintained her innocence despite the conviction.
What really happened?
What do you mean? Like,
What really put you there? What really?
It really was an accident that happened. I was out.
But she can't really talk about it in details.
But I can, not in details, but I can pretty much say I was out with people like that are not my friends.
During an interview on the Wendy Williams.
Remy addressed the matter in an interview on the Wendy Williams show, stating, "I didn't shoot anyone. Do you guys really think every time the judge and jury got it right every single time number, they didn't fast forward to 2014? Even though Remy spent 6 years in prison at the Bedford Hills Correctional Facility for Women in New York, she didn't miss a beat. Instead, she returned to the game and regained her place in the hip-hop industry like a boss. But Remy has always been honest about how prison influenced her life. She told the Fader that in the last 15 years as a rapper, the majority of that time was spent in prison rather than the free world, and those experiences still affect her, saying she will never forget what she went through and the people she left behind.
It was court.
You go with him now?
I agree with that.
This goes beyond the shooting incident that occurred in 2007. Not to mention what transpired in 2019, Remy's temper has gotten her into problems on multiple occasions. Remy was arrested in New York City when love and hip-hop artist Brittany Taylor allegedly claimed Remy at a benefit performance. According to reports, the altercation broke out in the green room at Irving Plaza, and Brittany ended up hurting her right eye.
Now, Remy Ma, she has bailed out of jail. She actually is saying, and I'm gonna tell you the whole story, she was in custody because she allegedly punched Brittany Taylor at the concert that went down for Pretty Lou.
Tell the people.
Brittany didn't take this lightly either. She went straight to the police, got herself hospitalized, and even asked them to keep all the surveillance footage from that night. It was said that she was getting ready to file a civil lawsuit against Remy, but Remy couldn't just ignore this one. She actually turned herself in to the police, who charged her with a misdemeanor. Remy insisted she was innocent, but the entire incident added another mark to her already explosive past. Clarissa Shields might want to reconsider before making any more jabs, either in person or online, because it's evident that Remy Ma doesn't back down from a fight, as evidenced by her track record. One thing is certain though, even though Clarissa may have her fists ready, Remy always has a point to prove and isn't the one to test. Therefore, when 50 Cent offered his thoughts on Remy and Clara's feud, he wasn't just being petty. He was making connections between the dots because he was aware of Remy's past, and let's be honest, it's not unreasonable to assume she could. Whether he's trolling or issuing subliminal warnings, he even made a joke about her background with the 2007 in ENT should things get out of hand. Some supporters are defending 50 after his remarks offended him, claiming that it's simply 50 being 50. Even though some believe he went too far by bringing up old grievances, you can't deny that Remy's past lends a darker undertone to the situation. With 50 Cent keeping things interesting and Clarissa Shields still calling out Remy Papoose for spilling all the tea, this story is far from over. Please hit the subscribe button and leave a like because we're bringing you more drama straight from the streets. Also, don't forget to check out the next video on the end screen. You won't want to miss it. If you thought this was crazy, we'll be here to break it all down for you. Will Papoose drop even more receipts in response to the fight challenge?